The Kodiak Alutiiq values. Kikdachmut suchtjepet. These values were identified by Terry Schneider in partnership with the Kodiak-wide Alutiiq Elders Group, Academy of Alutiiq Elders. The initiative to identify the Alutiiq cultural values took place in 2002. Translations were put together by Alicia Drebeck with Alutiiq Elders at the Alutiiq Language Club. The 14 values identified are as follows. Nunaput, our land, ties to our homeland. Nunaput, chachliachlugi, taking care of our land, stewardship of animals, land, sky, and waters. Unguachichbet, our way of being alive, a subsistence lifestyle respectful and sustained by the natural world. Suput, our people or community. Our people, we are responsible for each other and ourselves. Chuklibut, our elders. Ilabut, our family and kinship of ancestors and living relatives. Sukstu nuachichbet, our heritage language. Lichichbet, our way of learning by doing, observing, and listening. Pichibit uswiduk, our way is wise, traditional arts, skills, and ingenuity. Ilaquiskungut, we favor sharing, we welcome everyone. Suchtanachtugut, we trust. Lingaklugi, we respect them. Respect for self, others, and our environment is inherent in all of these values. Anerneq, or spiritual sphere, as identified by Alicia Drebeck's well-being model, consists of 2 of the 14 Alutiiq cultural values. The core of the spiritual sphere is breath, or Anerneq. Anerneq can also be translated to mean spirit in the Alutiiq language. This translation to spirit is a connection relating more to energy as opposed to spirit in relation to a ghost. Agayu Malgut, faith and spiritual life. Alutiiq faith and spirituality are significant aspects woven into both ancestral and contemporary Alutiiq culture. The Kodiak Alutiiq people's notion of faith and spirituality consists of a complex arrangement of deities and spiritual supernatural beings continuously influencing the people and the environment. Though spirituality was elaborately expressed through ceremony, it was also very much intertwined in all aspects of daily life. The Alutiiq people's views of right and wrong were expressed through their belief in good spirits, agayun, and evil spirits, tak. This notion is also supported by what Shelikoff noted when speaking about the Kodiak region. He noted that they acknowledge only 2 beings, one good and one evil. Though this notion is obviously oversimplified. Good spirits were how Alutiiq hunters learned techniques and decided the success or failure of the hunts. They provided useful information, a lot of which became customs. In contrast, the bad or evil spirits would harm people, if allowed. The prevention of such evil is what made shamanism important. They had a strong belief that anything not done in accordance to custom could have detrimental backlash and result in misfortune and harm. This strong belief in adhering to customs is believed to be one of the reasons Alutiiq people attached to the Russian Orthodox religion so freely. They were able to make a connection between it and their prior belief system. There were many other elements within the ancestral Alutiiq beliefs. There are the cosmological beliefs establishing that there were many layers to the universe. People could travel to these worlds for the purpose of seeking knowledge. Many Alutiiq traditional stories touch on this subject and more. Another portion of Alutiiq spirituality is the importance of the mask traditions. They were instrumental in the process of spirit world travel. And an additional element within the Alutiiq ancestral culture is the process of animal transformation. The Alutiiq term for shaman, kashaluk, is defined as one who has a helping spirit or a supernatural power. The Alutiiq people practiced traditional forms of shamanism up to and preceding the arrival of the Russian explorers on Kodiak Island. These practices carried on into the 1900s. Though there were many factors that contributed to the Alutiiq people accepting the Russian Orthodox faith so rapidly, the first reason actually existed before any contact with white explorers took place. The shamans predicted there would be men coming, bringing new truths. Based on the shaman's prophecy, it is believed that the Alutiiq people were encouraged to trust and follow the priests. Though there is a significant amount of information pieced together through elders' accounts, historical artifacts, traditional stories, and early documentation by foreign people to the region, there is also a lot of displaced information. Gideon noted that he was unable to obtain detailed knowledge about shamanism on Kodiak, explaining most had died in the 1804 epidemic, noting also that others were secretive, and one shaman pretended he lost the power of speech from fright he experienced during a dream. At that point in time, it is obvious that the shamans who remained knew their time was limited and were no longer receptive to inquiries. Much is unknown exactly about this time period and the complete disruption of all shamanistic practices. However, one thing is for sure, the Alutiiq people and the world as they knew it was changed forever. Present-day Alutiiq people have a wide variety of faith and spirituality. Though there is still a very prominent Russian Orthodox presence among many Alutiiq families, we see other faiths and spirituality represented as well. Just as with our ancestors, our connection to one another, as well as the land, is linked with our own physical and mental health. Intertwined is our spiritual process. Spirituality and the value of faith is deeply rooted in an understanding that our daily life is inseparable from our spiritual life. We like to laugh. Sense of humor. The Alutiiq people's ability to find humor and laugh is a strong value within the Alutiiq culture. Throughout the hard times felt by the Alutiiq people, humor has been an aspect of daily life to help make bearable difficult situations. Although diluted through translation, humor is incorporated into many Alutiiq stories and songs. Alutiiq silliness and humorous, playful nature is expressed through Alutiiq songs such as Nahashta, which sings about a baby louse taking a banya, splashing water on the rocks, and laughing. Another song with notes of humor mixed in is a gudak. In this song, it talks about a mom and dad making a gudak, and the baby of the family eating it all gone. All the parents could do was lick the bowl. It is no secret that many Alutiiq elders and leaders in our community are known for their humor. Many elders who have passed on are remembered fondly for their sometimes less than appropriate comedic timing. My mom and I often fondly remember a comedic experience involving my great-uncle Harry. We were visiting him at the hospital as he was on a brief stay there for a passing illness. As we were visiting by his bedside, he took a sip of water and began to choke. My mom instinctually, mother of 6 after all, leaned him forward and began to hit his back. At that very moment, the doctor walked into the room. The doctor was noticeably perplexed and concerned by what he had just witnessed. At this very moment, Uncle Harry gasps out, "They're trying to kill me." My mom was instantly frazzled by this, not only at the act that had just taken place, but also at my uncle's slightly displaced comedic comment. In my mom's disarray, she hugged the doctor in an attempt to assure him that she was not trying to kill Uncle Harry. The whole room was in an uproar of laughter. One of my very earliest memories of my grandmother expresses her carefree humor. I did not know my grandma during her time of addiction. She never spoke to me about the very difficult times in her life. Though she had a life full of struggle, heartache, addiction, loss, and illness, she let her humor shine through more often than I would expect. I remember sitting in a room full of siblings and cousins as my grandma put on a long blonde wig. She whipped it around and began prancing around the room, saying almost to herself in a playful voice, "It's true, blondes do have more fun." The room was filled with laughter, as we were all thoroughly amused by her silliness. The Alutiiq cultural value of humor is special, again in the sense that, like faith and spirituality, it too is intertwined throughout many other aspects of Alutiiq culture, past and present. And despite a history plagued with challenges, natural disasters, illness, massacre, loss of language, loss of song, loss of dance, and culture, the Alutiiq people still recognize the importance of humor and not only speak of its importance, but actually live with humor throughout their lives, past, present, and future.